Welcome back to Hazy Logic Wrestling, Friday Night SmackDown, November 14th in Albany, New York. How you doing?
Hey, doing really good, man. That was a pretty good show tonight. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think there was some bad and some good. Overall, it was decent. How was your week?
I was good, man. It's been a little rainy over here.
Yeah, this week was my birthday, turned 35, big 35. I definitely brought the rain with me. It's been raining in Bay Area, so that was cool. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, as we said, this Friday Night SmackDown was in Albany, New York. For the intro, we had a promo essentially promoting women's war games with a couple of developments. We had Rhea Ripley and Io Sky kick off the evening in Albany. They're essentially just building up war games, speaking on how they're going to be going up against the Kabuki Warriors and the newly formed tag team of Nia Jax and Lash Legend. And they also introduced their partners Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, who eventually walk out. Charlotte came out first, looking very fashionable, artsy tonight with a little like some Met Gala type graffiti stuff on her skirt. That was cool. And then yeah, I don't know what you thought of it. Once in the ring, essentially, a couple minutes go by, they're talking, Alexa's talking, and Charlotte ends up grabbing the mic and saying, just because she has the same enemy as Rhea right now, Rhea Ripley, that is, that doesn't mean she trusts her. She still thinks she's a snake, and she's pretty sure the feelings are mutual, and she cannot and will not team with her at this War Games, and she kind of just walks out.
Yeah, man. I mean, at first the intro and then Charlotte and Alexa and everyone walking out, I was like, okay, this is just more setting up war games. Um, yeah, I guess I was a little surprised by Charlotte just kind of turning on Rhea and well, not turning on her, but just kind of telling her like, look, I don't get along, we don't get along. I thought that was just kind of building into the general big team of, oh, let's throw a bunch of people together, but oh, can they work together? Like the normal tension that they usually build with this stuff.
Mhm.
I didn't expect Charlotte to just kind of walk out. So, I mean, that caught me off guard. And she's catching some boos from the crowd and stuff for it. And it's like, we just spent all this time with Charlotte and Alexa, them as tag teams, basically turning Charlotte babyface, all for her to just walk out on this. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what's going on with Charlotte here in the future, but definitely was a big WTF moment for me.
I wasn't expecting it. I mean, Charlotte as a character is definitely not a team player. It makes sense in that sense. I think it was a lot already just her and Alexa, right? That was the whole storyline, was were they going to get along or not? As you said previously in other episodes, like their team together did serve its purpose. So definitely wasn't expecting it. And I think the first thing that came to mind after last week when we had that moment of kind of Jade Cargill walking back up the ramp towards Gorilla, and then Alexa Bliss and Charlotte walking out before their match, and they kind of eye each other. I knew Jade was going to come out later that night, and I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe Charlotte's going to come out and start some beef with Jade tonight. That would be cool. But that obviously did not end up happening. So we'll just have to see. I mean, what are you thinking? I'm thinking maybe she'll come around before War Games. Something will happen. Maybe that'll force her hand. Or you think she's just out?
I don't know, man. I think she's just out. I don't know what's going to happen otherwise. We still got what 2 weeks here till War Games. I think maybe after after Jade squashes on Michin next week, maybe they use something after that match. After they feed a couple people to her to set up for Charlotte, maybe that's what we get, and then we get Charlotte and Jade at War Games. That could be a fun match outside of the Survivor Series matches. I don't know. That's going off of that. That's kind of the only thing I see from it, but I got no idea. I'm more curious what really who Rhea, Io, and Alexa are going to get to fill that space now. Who's going to step into it? And the only person I can think of right now is AJ Lee. Have AJ Lee come in, fill that empty spot, and I mean, we already got Becky on the other team, so
Could
or I was
possibly
hoping we would
happen.
have Becky on the other team rather. I guess she's not there yet.
Yeah, definitely odd. Overall, I thought it was kind of awkward. I don't know. It seemed like the segment didn't really hit. Like even Rhea and Io. I don't know. It seemed kind of like low energy or kind of awkward when they were talking, but
Yeah, I mean, I loved the energy with Rhea and Io coming out and then their energy, but yeah, it was a little awkward in ring. I think basically it's just them rushing a storyline together to try to make War Games make sense as a story. It's like just don't. We already know it's an exhibition match. Just make it an exhibition match. Make it a showcase of like younger talent or something. Like I don't think they need to try to shoehorn a storyline into it. I think that's what made it such a shock that Charlotte's going to walk away from real storyline stuff for a War Games match. Um, yeah, I just don't see the need to try to shoehorn all the story in.
so next up, quickly, we had the last time is now tournament round one, match number three. We had Jey Uso versus The Miz. I mean, you both talked about this last week. I could be wrong. I believe we both had The Miz winning. I know I did. Did you as well?
Yeah, that's who I had winning. I just thought that would make the most sense overall, and I think I don't think anyone really wanted to see Jey Uso progress into this tournament, really. It is what it is.
Commercial break comes back, and I had texted you, man, they're still over here eating like 8 minutes later after I rejoined. I was
Yep.
freaking out that I missed something, but I guess all I missed were eats.
Yeah, I didn't get the commercial there either. I mean, even where the VPN was at, it still does the whole like cut to like kind of a screen and have music playing kind of a thing. So there wasn't really anything to see there. I was just as shocked that they were still running his music when we get back. I was like, "Oh God, don't run it back again." And then sure enough, he looks at the camera to run it back, but luckily the Miz's music hits. The vibe on Jey Uso right now, it's like I try really hard not to be a Jey Uso hater because I really do like him. I like uh the energy that he brings and I like the experience, especially live when you're there. But at the same time, it's just something, I don't know, that's not sitting well with it.
It's just forced. It's just creative forcing it down your throat, and it goes from being fun to being irritating. But I don't have too much on this match. I thought Miz was entertaining. I like how you mentioned he cut off the run it back for the yeet. I think we all appreciated that. He had a really cool spot with the doing the John Cena five knuckle shuffle on Jay. I thought
Yeah.
that was hilarious. Everybody enjoyed that, and
Yeah, that spot was really good, man. I loved that. It was like the five knuckle shuffle. You got that kind of homage, and then Jay goes for the super kick and the Samoan drop, and then you get the skull crushing finale out of the Samoan drop. That should have been the finish of the match for me.
correct.
Um, right there. I think that it's bugging the hell out of me that they are making the finishers not
Not
as
finishers.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like people hitting their finishers two, three, four, five times sometimes, and it's just like it just doesn't. It's not a finisher anymore. Now it's just another move you throw. Like
Yep.
there, I don't really think there is a finisher for Jey Uso other than him getting that Uso splash in. But I've seen people get up out of that, so it's like I don't know. I when he hit that skull crushing finisher, that should have been it. I did have another spot that I wanted to call out though earlier when Miz hit Jey Uso with that spike DDT after the commercial break. That shit looked brutal.
Yeah, that was sick. I remember that. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was bullshit. I was hoping that the Miz was gonna win. He obviously didn't. I feel like Jey Uso's getting shoved down our throat. He's already in the War Games. I mean, that doesn't really matter, right? We have a lot of people in this tournament that are in War Games already, but overall, I thought it was the wrong person, and I was a little bit bummed out, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, that's kind of my whole feel on it. I guess it is what it is. I was pretty pissed. I thought that was bullshit that Jay won that. I didn't care for the ending. So I gave the match. I enjoyed the match. I gave the match a B plus, but I gave the finish an F because I didn't care for it.
I agree with the finishing being an F. We get our first L right there. We are 2-3 for our first four matchup predictions. I'm sorry, 2 out of 3, right? So we are 2-1 right now. Two correct, one wrong. And then next up, we had what I would call Nick Aldis backstage activities part one. He has a couple interactions. Nick Aldis runs into Dragunov for talking about the open challenge. Essentially, Tomas Ciampa comes up to them and is complaining about what the heck, this guy's just doing whatever he wants. I've been next up for this open challenge and I'm not getting the opportunity. They said we were just talking about that. At the end of the day, though, he refuses him. He does not give Tommaso his chance again. I quote, he says, because he's a jackass and he has no honor. And then he says that he's going to give it to somebody else that he respects instead, and in walks Axiom. So we ended up with Axiom versus Dragunov for the open challenge. What?
I thought it was kind of out of nowhere. I guess Axiom did want the match when Nathan Frazier got the match, so
Uh-huh.
it's not completely out of nowhere, but I was hoping Ciampa was going to get his match. But I guess they want to just build this up more and more uh, until Ciampa eventually does get the match with Dragunov. And honestly, if they're building it up this much, he better win it. That's my only thought with it. Like, I don't know. Aldis was kind of irritating me. I think he's been irritating me ever since the McIntyre stuff. So this whole segment just irritated me more at Aldis.
I just don't get it. I think John Cena is the one with the open challenge stuff. Sammy talked about, I'm gonna keep it going. Okay. After Dragunov takes the belt from Sammy, he's all gung ho. He's gonna keep it going, but it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why is he keeping it going? Why is it so like a prestigious thing? Supposedly, the first week he's all honorable and gonna do what's right, and this person came first. Second week he's dissing this guy. Third week he's avoiding him. So kind of like to your point, Ciampa better take the title from him, or if not, like what the hell are we doing with this whole thing? It's weird. But I didn't like it. Thought it was irritating. That's where we left there. And then we go to Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed as Nick Aldis is walking down the hall, and they want to speak to Aldis. Cuts to a commercial for me, or a pause break, but when it gets back, essentially Heyman is trying to confirm and remind Aldis that he can get anybody on his team to help out for War Games across any WWE platform. And Aldis confirms yes.
When this was happening, I mean, I think our brains went to the same place when they were talking about across all platforms. I'm like, wait, even NXT? But I mean, Aldis doesn't really have any weight there, so I didn't think that. I was thinking McIntyre. I figured that was why Aldis was so irritated. I mean, when we first come back from commercial, Aldis was calling security on Heyman. So he was gonna have security escort them out. So it seemed a little sus already. And again, I've already irritated at Aldis, so that was where my brain went was straight to McIntyre. And then yeah, man, then we had Heyman and Cody, and once Cody walks up, and I liked that interaction a lot between Cody and Heyman.
Yeah, it was
I
a
think
fun little
they
one-on-one.
both play off of each other very well.
They had a cool little one-on-one combo there. Heyman does his little wheeling and dealing, gets in under the skin, and then next thing you know, we have our main event announcement: the Golden Goose, Cody Rhodes versus Bronson Reed. Was not originally, but ends up being for the WWE Championship title. Makes sense. One of the things that I actually like, they're both going to be in war games. They both had problems, so this is one of the one things I said. All right, this is cool. This makes sense. I know where it's going to go, but I like it. And
Yeah, I was just watching Heyman's face during that whole thing. It's like knowing just exactly that Cody's playing right into Heyman's hands. This is
right.
pretty much exactly what Heyman wanted in the first place, I'm sure. And then for Cody just to immediately agree to the title match. Um, yeah, just more of I was expecting some more of Cody going enough, but we didn't get that. But I did just note that it was just setting up more of a feud with Bronson for War Games.
And then yeah, that leads us right into the US Open Challenge. We had Dragunov versus Axiom. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping that our matchup earlier in the week of El Sucio de los Sucios against Big Cena was gonna be a indication that the neck tattoo wave was over. And I thought maybe Dragunov was gonna lose tonight since our boy Dom lost with his neck tat, but that did not end up happening. The most exciting thing to me was Axiom with the top rope backflip DDT type thing that took place. I thought that
Yeah,
was
dude,
pretty
that thing was crazy.
super crazy, yeah. And then the Spanish Fly again, followed by a torpedo and a H bomb, and then Dragunov wins and we're done. But I don't know about you, my key takeaway. I'm really impressed with Fraxium. I like Frazier. I really did enjoy his match versus in the open challenge versus Dragunov. And now I got to see Axiom. I really like his match as well. And I'm excited to see both of them as singles, to be honest with you. I know nobody really gives a crap about them right now. Half the people on Reddit and Twitter are gonna be like, "Oh, who are these bums? What's this for? It doesn't make any sense." But I did enjoy them. And you can't get both ways. You can't complain everybody's 48 and older and at the same complaint every time they get a young cat in there. So I did enjoy it.
Yeah, man, I love Axiom. I think every match that they've really had since they've come up to SmackDown, it's been a little while now. I think all the matches have been great. They're fast-paced, they're exciting. They kind of bring a little bit of that fast-paced lucha vibe to it, but
Mm.
yeah, I think my biggest comparison with them would be like Motor City Machine Guns. They're fun to watch in the ring. I don't know that I need them as single stars right now. I think we have enough single stars. But they're a solid tag team, and I expect them to get those tag team titles eventually. So that's kind of what I'm expecting out of Fraxium together. But I thought the match itself was really, really good energy back and forth. Um, man, Dragunov, he hit this headbutt right before he hit this like top rope senton that he does. And
Mhm.
that senton looks brutal, man. It just like wrecks someone. Um, and his chops remind me a lot of like Gunther's chops. It's not just like a slap on the chest. It's like they chop through the person.
Mhm.
Um, and that I still really like Dragunov, so I wasn't too sad to see him win. I know you're not his fan, but I'm happy to see him with the title, and I kind of expect one day to get a Dragunov Gunther match. I think they already have some history, and that's what I'm really hoping for eventually.
I do not think we're gonna get that anytime soon, but I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. It's gonna be a big matchup when it does happen. And neither of them are my favorite wrestlers, but I will enjoy that match for sure. Um, I didn't grade the first one. Uso and Miz, I gave it a C plus, and I'm gonna give the open challenge a B minus.
I gave the open challenge an A. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great back and forth. It had energy the entire time. It didn't really lag. And yeah, man, I've been really enjoying all the Dragunov's matches, so it gets an A from me. But I want to point out my grades are just how much I enjoyed the match and how I feel like it was executed. I don't really affect it too much with like story and stuff like that. So
Agreed. Just know when I'm grading stuff, it's just my personal bias. For example, I probably would have given it a B if it wasn't Dragunov, but because it's him, I gave it a B minus.
there you go.
At least I'm honest, but I'll digress. Next up, we have Nick Aldis backstage activities part two. We have R-Truth back for more, second week in a row. He is imploring Nick Aldis to use his balls in the tournament once again. He says, "Be gentle, just take his
He
balls,
really
please."
he really wants him to be gentle with his balls. He doesn't want them clacking against everyone else's balls in there. He just wants them handled carefully.
Yeah. Conspiracy mode. I'm a little under the weather this week. I'm a little bit of a hater recently on Friday Night SmackDown. If you listen to our Monday, I'm going to be way more animated in that one than today. But I will say, I love it. I love our truth. It's comedy. It's good. I want to see our truth in more matches, though, man. I want to see him doing more than just his backstage games and whatnot. And I wonder, like, why, what is, I hope that this leads to something. I hope that this leads to something. Right after this, we had Chelsea Green. She doesn't know why she didn't get pyro last week when she got her championship.
I loved that. I loved that segment.
It was perfect,
And
right? She
then
comes out with the robe. She's got the little things under her eyes, little eye mask going on. Definitely settled into her new championship spot at the top of the throne. And
Yeah.
yeah, she wants to know why she didn't have her celebration party. It was canceled, apparently. She had no pyro. And despite all of this, she is willing to let this go, forgive and forget, as long as she gets her celebration and her pyro next week. Nick Aldis does agree under one condition. He just needs her to hold these balls for him. And then he puts R-Truth's balls right in her hands.
But she didn't know whose balls they were. She was very confused about why she had balls in her hand.
Yeah, so we'll see what that leads to. I don't think these balls are going to make it in the tournament. What do you think?
I mean, I thought his balls were already in the drawing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he gets pulled for anything. But I mean, well, now we know he doesn't get pulled for anything, right? Towards the end of this.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say if we want, we can go ahead and go over those announcements right now. It's like so we did get Aldous pulling the final two matches a little bit later in the show,
Hmm.
which were announced to be Carmelo Hayes
Looking forward to
versus
that one.
Bronson Reed.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good match, man. I was really hoping Hayes was going to get in this tournament. I think against Reed, it's gonna really force him to give everything he's got, and
Hmm.
so we're gonna see a really good match out of him. The only thing I am worried about at this point with that is the Miz gonna like mess up Melo's chance? Is he going to injure Melo before the match? Like, is he going to come out there and mess with the match? I'm more worried for that than I am that Melo's not going to have a good match.
I think Hayes needs to get pushed a lot more. Super excited that he's in this matchup. Think he's gonna do great. Think he's gonna showcase great skill as long as they don't make it a squash match. My fear is twofold. One, this match takes place next Friday, November 21st. That is only 8 days away from War Games, Survivor Series War Games. I'm thinking either A, as you just mentioned, Miz is going to come out super heated and mess this thing up for him the same way that his match didn't go well for him. Bronson just smashes him so he looks powerful going into War Games. But I really do hope that Carmelo Hayes wins. I don't like seeing Jey Uso and I don't like seeing Bronson Reed winning matches when we know they're already solidified for a huge thing coming up in War Games. I like to see other people that aren't going to be on that match have a reason to have storylines keep going. So I think I for sure am rooting for Carmelo Hayes, and it sounds like you are as well. Or do you is your heart but your head doesn't think he's going to win?
So I'm rooting for Carmelo Hayes. One, two, I think he's actually going to win. As long as they don't have the Miz mess this up, I think he's going to win because Bronson Reed is in that War Games match. Now I don't know how we've got this lined up. So we've got okay. So if we're playing out this tournament, we've got the match. What is it going to be? Match 7 and 8 coming up or well, no, match 5 and 6 coming up on Monday, and then
Mhm.
match 7 and 8 coming up next Friday.
Correct.
So following that, we're gonna have the four matches that lead into the final four.
Hmm.
So those four matches, I imagine, will take place two on Monday, two on Friday, which leaves the final uh match to be at War Games.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
I don't see them leaving Reed in it. Now they could drop Reed in the next round, I suppose,
Hmm.
but like that just seems like they'd be burying Melo at that point. Like if we already know Reed's not gonna win or at least get closer to the end, go
Hmm.
ahead and have him lose this one. That way Melo can actually get some time and Reed's gonna be going into the War Games match already.
Yeah, and I mean not to fret on spilled milk already, but it's just like that's exactly how I feel about Jay. He's already in this match. Like, couldn't we just have the Miz win? You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I'll digress.
100%. 100%.
Penta versus Finn Balor. I'm really looking forward to that one too. I think it's going to be a pretty dope match.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at whoever wins that. Like, to be honest. Now, I think everyone, they want us rooting for Penta. I am rooting for Penta. But at the same time, Finn Balor's so damn good.
Yep.
Like, and I would love to see him and JD both get more. Whether it's singles action, whether it's just on their own, I want to see more matches out of Finn Balor and JD. So to have him in this tournament, I think is awesome. I think that we need to see him continue in this tournament. I want to see more matches out of him. I want to see him go up against other people. I think eventually, if Finn wins, we see him up against Sheamus maybe or Rusev, or vice versa with Penta up against Sheamus or Rusev. So
I guess if I have to pick right now, and I may change between now and next Friday, depending on what happens, but I'm gonna go for Penta right now.
same. I think Penta's the likely one to win it.
Cool, man. So the next up, we had Sami Zayn, a little in-ring promo. He comes out and says, SmackDown has brought him many highs and many lows. He's had frustrations on his current condition medically, and watching Solo and the MFTs attack his friends has just been really hard on him. It all ends tonight. He calls out Solo Sikoa, who comes out with the squad of MFTs. Solo says he is desperate and selfish, talking about Sammy.
Bro, the Sammy coming out there is just like against all advice, just calling out Solo and the MFTs. It's like Aldous keeps telling him not to, don't involve himself, and he's just gonna do it anyways. And it really makes me wonder if Sammy's injury wasn't a little bit of brain damage. Why is he trying to go 5 versus 1 against the entire squad and the MFTs?
I'm still
And
confused as
that,
to why he didn't want his belt back.
right? Why isn't he going after Dragunov right now? I guess he was happy to just let that go.
Yeah, so Solo's getting a bunch of what chants. Unlike Sammy, he's not selfish, right? He cares about his family, but then he ends the sentence by saying he cares about their loyalty to him.
Also, I love that he cares about his family, but not his two brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Very Solo Sikoa-ish in true fashion. Solo says, he's a gentleman. He's gonna wait until Sammy is medically cleared, and then he's gonna come for him. But Sammy announces tonight he is officially, as of tonight, medically cleared, so he doesn't have to wait too long if he wants to do something and he's feeling froggy. Go ahead and jump. MFTs basically come up to the ring. Sammy announces, "Hey,
Bro,
before you get excited, don't think I'm alone."
when Solo went to summon his MFTs into the ring, it just made me laugh. It's just me, but he tried snapping his fingers to have them all go to the ring. And I'm just clocking the fact that he's like wearing leather gloves and he is not going to get a finger snap out of that.
Yeah.
They all hop in there, and you got Sammy getting to call out his squad, which just goes to prove that he knew he wasn't going to be in a 5v1 this entire time, anyways.
Yeah, he knew it, and he basically has everybody that he is fighting for instead of fighting for his belt that he lost to Dragunov. Everybody that he has been wanting to support as they get smashed on, from Ray Phoenix to Shinsuke to the Motor City Machine Guns, they all come out. They help out Sammy while Sammy's unloading on Solo, and essentially they all go for it. And I don't know, the end just ends up being a teaser for the future. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes and the Usos backstage. Jimmy's basically just introduced as a WarGames teammate. I don't know, man. I was kind of disappointed in this. I was hoping we're gonna get like Cena, OTC. Maybe we'll still get the OTC in this matchup as the fifth member.
I
Yeah,
think getting Roman in there as the fifth man on that team would fit pretty well. I mean, you would have Cody, Jay, Jimmy, Punk, and Roman. You already have the built-in tension of will they get along? I mean, you just had Jay and Punk fight out. You've had tension between Cody and Roman, obviously. Uh, Punk and Roman, definitely. So that would create a lot of tension on the team and would just honestly, if we saw Roman get on that team, I feel like they would pretty much solidify that the Vision's going to win. What would you say if Jimmy betrayed the team?
I would be happy because my next note in here is Jimmy needs some new music and some identity of his own right now. He's already got a baby coming over. He's big Jim. He's got a lot going for him. He's got a baddie of a wife who just got had to give up the belt. I mean, they could be doing so much with him. I would love to see that.
I think and this is kind of an overall, not even just tonight, we've been seeing progressively more and more setup for there to be some kind of intersex tag team division in the WWE.
Hmm.
I mean, we've seen them bring in the AAA title so that there's a mixed tag team titles over on NXT. Chelsea has one, Ethan Page has the other.
Yep.
Um, we've seen that happening. We've seen everyone was very excited for the AJ Lee Punk versus Becky and Seth match. That went over really good. The
Yep.
match was good. It was one of the better matches that night. And they've been building up so much. We got Alistair and Zelina. We've got, I mean, I would love for you, like you said, Jimmy and Naomi to be in that spot.
Hmm.
But there's so many others already there. I mean, you could even go and throw Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae into that. Maybe that's why they got Ciampa peeling off right now. Maybe we're going to see DIY split up and it go that way. You could have Bianca and Montez. Like there's so much there ready to go with a whole mixed tag team division. Honestly, I think that would open up a lot of free space in some of the rest of the roster if they could focus that. But how much time would they even be willing to dedicate to it?
Hey man, they can make it happen. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Maybe we'll see it. All right, so then next up we have Nick Aldis backstage activities part three. This time Solo's raging backstage. He's pissed off. He confronts Aldis. He says he wants Sammy immediately. Aldis says no problem. We're gonna have MFTs versus Sammy and friends, 5-on-5 elimination tag team match. There's an encrypted little message right there with Uncle Howdy in the background. I'm thinking he's back. I love Uncle Howdy, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. Eventually, I think this is just going to lead to MFT squashing. I think you're in agreement, and then we'll have some fun stuff with MFTs versus the Wyatt Six, which I think is going to be great. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, dude, we've been waiting that forever. Hell, we were hoping for that at the SmackDown that we got to go to, and unfortunately, we didn't get it. Just got a little bit of in-ring action, but no match. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I was excited to see Howdy finally back. We haven't seen him anywhere for what seems like months. So I'm super stoked for that, and I think that's going to be a really big build up. Uh, Going into it. I'm just sad that we're not going to get it this War Games.
Next up, moving on here, we have the Last Time Is Now tournament, round one, match number four, right? We are now halfway through these matchups. We had LA Knight versus the Mysterious.
Yeah,
Yeah, it ends up being the one and only Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, which a lot of people were talking about. They're saying like he's a New York guy. They're in Albany. Maybe he'd come out. Ended up being
called
Cardona.
it.
Yep, called it. Thought it was hilarious. Commentators said someone at the top must really not like LA Knight to send him up here. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
I was ready to have a moment of silence for LA Knight tonight if he did not win. I was gonna be raging, but what did you think of this matchup?
you're just same thing. I thought it was actually interesting that they had Matt Cardona come back as Zack Ryder, build a Zack Ryder. I think it was just for the pop, the woo woo woo, you know. But considering that they had him as Matt Cardona over on NXT, I guess that was my surprise. I was super happy to see him come out and not Joe Hendry, because if Joe Hendry to walk out, I feel like I would have known LA Knight was losing. So I had a little bit of hope still left in me when I saw Zack Ryder come out. And to be fair, I love Zack Ryder. I think he's awesome. I've been watching a lot of his stuff on the indies lately. I think the dude is genius when it comes to his marketing himself on his Instagram and everything. So I was super excited to see him come out and called it. I really enjoyed the match. I do want to point out though, I think that all this build up to LA Knight fighting against the man and us all thinking he's getting buried by the backstage and the booking and everything. I think there's some truth to it, but I also think that they're trying to write it into the story.
Yeah, they try
Because
to get ahead
for
of it.
the commentators are putting over that his LA Knight's fight against the man in the back room, basically,
Yeah,
the booking, the ones that are making the shot, calling the shots in the back room.
yeah,
But yet, if you really look at it, they trusted LA Knight enough to be the man in the ring with Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder. on his return to the WWE. That's a big moment. Now, whether everyone thought it was as big a moment as I feel like I know Zack Ryder did, he's been trying to get back into the WWE for quite a long time, you know? So I think for them to trust LA Knight with that match, this moment, and to make it be what it was, which for me ended up being my match of the night, I think that actually does show that they do have some trust in LA Knight.
Yeah, no, I'll say I thought it was hilarious that they commented on that. As I said, I think it goes to show that they are playing into it a little bit. I thought it was funny. I don't know Matt Cardona. We both have very different histories with wrestling. I know you started watching like about a year ago, and you watch all NXT. TNA, all that stuff. I don't. I just watch the main card roster. My history, I was obsessed with WWE as a child, and I stopped watching probably when I was like 12, 13. Barely started watching again like 3 years ago. But what I would do is every like 2 years, I would randomly turn on WWE to see who was on. I'd like force myself to watch like half a show, talk shit about how all the wrestlers weren't worth anything compared to the old wrestlers, and then I'd move on. And I don't know who Matt Cardona is, but I know who Zack Ryder is because I specifically remember turning on the TV one day and seeing Zack Ryder like years ago, and I didn't like him. So I was kind of bummed out when I seen him come out, and I was like, "Oh, this is Matt Cardona." Because somebody had like a little towel or something in the crowd with the same colorways and stuff, but it said Matt Cardona on it. And I guess he was always Zack Ryder when he was with WWE. So I guess it makes sense. That's why I feel like Matt Cardona sounds better. Zack Ryder kind of sounds a little bit cringy. I feel like they should just call him Matt Cardona, but it is what it is. There was some decent spots. LA Knight had a dope neck breaker spot. Um, that boot to the face after the Wu chants had me worried that he was gonna lose. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was on pins and needles this whole match. They definitely got me. I was like worried that he was gonna lose. And then also, what was it? The Rough Rider by Zack Ryder had me again on pins and needles. But LA Knight kicks out after two. LA Knight eventually does a BFT. Thank God. Crisis averted. LA Knight wins. I'm still a WWE fan. I'm not going to rant tonight and go full conspiracy. And yeah, I guess everybody has a good time, right? Cardona's back in the WWE. LA Knight hits a BFT and wins. So we know that he's not too buried, at least with the company. And yeah, overall, it was cool. I gave it a B.
Hey, I give it my match of the night, man. I loved it. I think it was just because I enjoyed both of the wrestlers so much. So yeah, just like you were saying earlier, personal feeling definitely affects my grading. So I gave it an A. I loved the match. I thought that the top rope Rough Rider that Zack Ryder went to hit on LA Knight. LA Knight caught it and like put it into the drop down uh power bomb was super cool. It was a fun match, man. It had me on the edge of my seat going back and forth. Yeah, I was really worried that LA Knight was gonna just end up getting shafted one way or another. So I guess I'm easy to please. We just want to see our boy win, man. Yeah.
Want to see him win. Give him something, man. Hey, quick question for you, yes or no question, because I don't know as much about this. I thought I read on Twitter or Reddit, Matt Cardona is married to Chelsea Green. Is this correct? Or not married, but
Yes.
together? Okay. Hey,
They're married. They've been married for a very long time now.
I don't know about you, but I feel like it would be really cool to see my boy Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, go up against our truth now that his balls ended up in his lady's hands.
That would be hilarious.
That would be dope, man.
I don't know that Zack Ryder is going to be a part of WWE moving forward.
Mhm.
I mean, I think the kind of the whole point of this match was that some people that don't work here are in it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they had him come back as Zack Ryder and not Matt Cardona, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see going forward where that's going to go. But even I don't know if you saw it. I think I sent it to you. Joe Hendry wrote a new song uh, for Chelsea Green and Ethan Page
Yeah.
that highly features Matt Cardona in the background. but apparently he's okay with Ethan Page and Chelsea Green working so close together.
Next up, do you want to lead us into this little backstage 4 versus 3 we had?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of cut backstage to Io, Rhea, and Alexa kind of talking, arguing, discussing very energetically what the hell's going to happen since Charlotte left. And then I feel like they pretty much immediately got jumped by, I think it was like Kyrie and Nia that hit him first, and then Lash came out of nowhere, and then Asuka came out, and it just turned into kind of an all-out beatdown in the back room until security came out and cleared it up. But other than that, I don't think it really led anywhere other than to just show that they're just getting dominated and they need a fourth person.
Maybe Alexa and them will continue to get tortured until Charlotte feels bad and comes back. Will somebody,
Nah,
uh,
I have a theory that literally just popped in my head because I'm like, who is a strong superstar that they would throw into that team that could go up against Nia or against Lash Legend? And I only got one in my head, and I think it would be a real big pop if they do it as a surprise fourth entrance at War Games. I don't think they're going to announce it until it,
who you
and I
think?
think it would be Bianca Belair. I think that would be an awesome place for her to come back. I think War Games would be a great place for that to happen, especially if they don't announce it ahead of time. We build up this tension over the next couple weeks of just like who are they going to get to replace her? Who are they going to get to replace Charlotte? And I think that would be a great pop, man. I can't really think of anyone else that would sit in there and really be a force to be reckoned with enough to go up against the other team.
Sure, yeah. Well, we're finna find out pretty soon here. Next up, we got my girl Jade Cargill versus the one and only B-Fab. Not too much on this one, obviously. Cargill comes out looking young, fly, and flashy. She got the all black on. She got the white hair and everything looking cool like the storm. She was dominant as hell. It was basically a squash match. Um, she just kept dominating, dominating. Crowds yelling one more time, chants the whole time as she's dominating on these moves. I don't know exactly what we need from Jade, especially for right now. Let her just squash people on the way to something with Bianca when she comes back, or something with Charlotte.
Hmm.
Let her just squash people until then, really big her up and make her character better. That's what I want to see. Right when she's leaving, Michin's trying to comfort her partner. Um, she gets in her face, kind of shoves her, and leaves the ring. And they're staring at each other. So possibly we have that for next week or in the future. As Jade's walking away, she's like saying, feed me, who's next?" She says she's that bee, that female dog, you know what I mean? So what did you think about that?
Yeah, man. It was a squash match. You called it. It's exactly what it was. I kind of assumed it was going to be, even when we were talking last week, we're like, all right, this is gonna be a squash match. They're gonna feed BFAB to her. We called it. They're probably gonna feed Michin to her right afterwards, and we called that too. Is exactly what happened. It's playing out the story beat exactly as we think it would. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I wouldn't grade it badly or poorly for that. I just think that I don't know, maybe a little bit more they could do with it. I don't know. I wasn't excited for it, but I wasn't upset about it either. It just kind of was something that inevitability that I knew was going to happen. So yeah, it played out exactly as I thought it would.
Match of the night, A plus 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 plus. It was my match of the night. No, I just kidding. Oh man, I'm so messed up. No, I'm just kidding. It was dope. Yeah, it was cool. It was what it was. It served its purpose. It was more of a promo than a match, if you know what I mean, but it was cool. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I knew when we only had a half hour left to show when Jade was walking out, and I knew that we still had a main event match with Cody and Bronson left.
mhm.
It wasn't gonna go long. So, yeah, I mean, I think we all knew right from the get-go that it was gonna end quickly.
Yeah. So from there, we already talked about it, but they announced the last time is now final matches. We don't have to
Hmm.
go over that one again, but we know where we're at with that. And then after that, they also announced we got for Axiom versus DIY next week. And then we had that spot backstage. We have Carmelo Hayes. After his match gets announced, he's talking with some of the crew. He gets confronted by Bronson Reed, who basically says, I'm going to squash Cody Rhodes tonight, and I'm going to squash John Cena after I squash you, right? And then we
Yep.
also had a little Aleister Black promo calling out Cody Rhodes before the match, saying, he did what he did with Damian. He's moving on now. He's got his eyes set to Cody. And I thought, wow, how convenient, right? When Cody's about to have a matchup with Bronson Reed, right? What were you thinking?
Yeah, I think the Aleister Black thing, one, yeah, I was like half expecting Aleister to run out there and fuck up the match. Uh, but with that being said, I think it's really setting up that maybe Aleister will be a fifth man on War Games. I don't know. If they are gonna throw a mid-carder on there, I think Aleister wouldn't be a bad choice to throw in.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I think I would like Alistair more if it was like a Raw versus SmackDown War Games, but overall, I think it would be
What
dope.
why can't we have that? Like, why can't we just have like we don't that's why I'm saying they don't need to shoehorn all this story in and try to fabricate all these feuds
Yeah,
that are gonna last all of 2 weeks, go to War Games, and then never be talked about again.
yeah.
Like, if we're gonna have an exhibition match, just have an exhibition match. Just do Raw versus SmackDown. Throw heels and faces together on the same team. We already know there's gonna be tension, but every team wants to win to represent the brand. So it could make sense, man. I don't see why they need to work so hard.
Yeah. I think of that one viral, like old school segment where it's like Vince McMahon is talking to like Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, um, who else is in that? Undertaker, and who else is in that? I can't remember. But essentially, they're getting ready for like a 4 or 5v5, like across companies. I can't remember if it's like ECW or WCW versus WWE or WWF at the time. And Vince McMahon is like, they're gonna break us, they're gonna try to break us, and then Stone Cold like announces everything he's saying back, and he's pissing off Undertaker. I'll have to send it to you, but it reminds me of that, right? Like
Oh,
exactly what you said. We don't have to shoehorn all this stuff. Give us a reason why they are just forced to work together, and make them have to be forced to work together. It's that simple.
yeah, was that also the segment? Was Kurt Angle there with them?
Yeah, and then he's like smacking he's like repeating
Yeah, yeah.
everything that Vince says. Yeah, I love that one.
I've seen that one. Yeah, dude, that cracks me up. Like you mentioned earlier, I really only started watching here probably about a year ago now. But I've always kind of watched little bits and clips and this and that and talked to people about it. So it's like I always had kind of a base understanding of it, but I didn't really follow any of the stories. And now that I've been watching a lot and going back and watching old stuff. I've just become like kind of obsessed with the history of it. So I've been really enjoying going back and watching old matches. So anytime you think of something like that, throw it my way. I'll check it out.
We should do something in the future where we start at the very, very beginning of WWF and we just watch the whole history until we get to the
That's a whole Patreon watch along right there. That's for in the future.
yeah, in the way future. But anyways, Bronson Reed versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship is our main event. Cody was getting dominated for, a good minute in the beginning of this match. There was a jagged edge to failed tsunami by Bronson Reed.
Man, I
Um,
love the jagged edge, dude.
it
That
was dope.
move is destructive. Like it
Mhm.
just wrecks shit. Uh, and dude, Cody hit Reed with this disaster kick off the rope, and Reed just sold the hell out of that, man. It looked like a freaking truck hit him.
Yeah, I saw
I,
that too.
I I loved it, dude. It was a good match, for as much of it as we got.
Yep, for as much of it as we got, as you're saying, Logan Paul and Bron Breakker get the match thrown out. They come out pretty quickly here. We essentially are getting more of our men's war game type promo hype. The Uso brothers come out to support. Jimmy and Jey are setting up a table spot, and but eventually we have a secret person come out. Me and you had been texting during the promo where Paul Heyman's talking with Nick Aldis. You told me immediately, oh, I think it's gonna be Drew. I said I'm not so sure. I'm thinking Obafemi, but who ended up coming out?
Boom. Claymore out of nowhere.
Claymore out of nowhere. Drew McIntyre intervenes despite his suspension. We got Aldis immediately coming out, chest puffed out, spit flying out the mouth, finger pointing straight to Heyman.
Bro,
Heyman's back
I
at him
love
yelling.
Heyman. Yeah, Heyman just yelling back at him like it doesn't matter. Like it says anybody. It doesn't matter if they're like technically suspended or not, dude. Like they're just yelling back and forth. That shit was hilarious. I'm like,
Classic.
yeah, just piss Aldous off even more. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, just yelling back and forth. All I could hear from all this was he's suspension, suspension. All I could hear from Heyman was anybody, it's anybody, it's anybody. All of them just going crazy. You got spears, you got claymores, you got tsunamis. Um, yeah, and all we're waiting for now is that fourth member. I'm thinking maybe Brock Lesnar would be dope. We got Paul Heyman guys there, so that would be cool. And then I'm guessing maybe OTC on the other side, but who knows? Um, Bigger than this, though, I just don't think Drew McIntyre should be here. I'm not a huge Drew McIntyre fan. I'm not going to pretend that I am. Same way that I'm not a big, Gunther or Dragunov fan. This guy should be fighting for a belt. And if he's not going to get one of the main belts, he should be fighting for the US belt. He should be fighting for the Intercontinental belt. Like, let's just put him in something that matters. That's going to be like my overall hater talk here. But I didn't mind it. I'm looking forward to War Games. I think it's going to be dope. I just think McIntyre should be getting more.
Yeah, I like McIntyre a lot. I've liked him since I started watching. I think he's always entertaining to watch, and he puts on a hell of a match every time he's in the ring, dude. Um, he's really good. I am rooting for him. I think yeah, he deserves another belt shot. I think he's gonna get another belt shot against Cody, maybe. We'll see. But I don't know, you threw out the Intercontinental and I mean currently we got Cena holding that boy. And I heard it announced that Monday, of course that's gonna be Madison Square Garden with Cena. Um he is going to have a match confirmed.
Hmm.
We do not know who the opponent is gonna be, so we got a which I love. We got a mystery John Cena opponent, which we
Yep.
all love
Hmm.
who could show up. We also have a mystery man on Monday. We have two mystery matches on Monday. Like, hell yeah. And one of them is going to be an Intercontinental Championship match. So, who's it going to be? Is it going to, are we going to get Dom again? Is he going to get his rematch? Does he get his belt back? Are you going to have Ray come out there? What if Ray wants a shot at that belt? What if Ray gets the belt off John just to go into this War Games and have his match against Dom?
That would be great.
Uh, they both go in holding one belt.
Yeah, winner takes all.
Dom's got the belt that Ray really wants. Ray's got the belt that Dom really wants. Put them
That would
put
be
them both on the line.
super, super dope. I'd be really happy with that. Before we head out here, bro, a couple of things I wanted to talk about really quickly so we're not too long. They're talking about SmackDown going back to 3 hours. It was announced today, starting January 5th or 6th, 2026. SmackDown's going to be going back to a 3 hour show. They cut it to 2 hours. What do you think? I feel like right now SmackDown is a slower product. I don't mind it going to 3 hours. I love wrestling, but if we're just gonna get another 25 minutes of ads and promos, I don't know how I feel about it. What do you think?
I guess I'm kind of on the fence both ways.
Hmm.
So I think it would be good. I think 3 hour show is really long.
Yeah.
Um, that's a big ass commitment, and I think that is what it's rough with. But I think it only went down to two because of football season in the first place.
Hmm.
And so they didn't have to compete as hard with that. Uh, with that being said, there is a lot of the roster that isn't getting enough matches, that isn't getting enough attention, and an extra hour to throw in some more matches. Make them shorter matches. Let's get some 15, 20-minute matches in there. They
Yep.
don't have to be for championships. Like, we don't need 30 to 45 minute long matches every match. There
Yeah.
needs to be more. We need more in the ring. Have championships drop hands more often. That would be awesome too. Like Dragunov has had this open challenge. That's great. Like we said, I'd love for Ciampa to get that belt. That'd be a great mid-card holder. I'm sure that would go all over the place, but like we just need more. We just need more.
We definitely need more.
Uh,
And I don't know how you have people like Julia with the belt forever that you can never give her a damn match until she's gonna
and
lose
then
something
barrier, dude.
and then bury her. But then you
Like
can have Dragunov just fight every damn week.
yeah, and I'm happy that Dragunov is fighting every damn week. At least it's something like I look forward to that. I was looking forward to it when Sammy was doing it. So as much as you're like, I don't get why he's still doing the open challenge, dude, I look forward to that open challenge every week because I know that it's going to be a banger match at least. Like
Mm.
out of all the matches we may or may not get that night, I have never been upset with an open challenge yet. Whether Sammy was doing it or Dragunov, I think I could probably go back and look at my notes on it, but I think every single one of those matches I've felt very good about.
For sure, yeah. And then closing up here tonight, just shout out and rest in peace to the one and only Eddie Guerrero. My birthday is November 13th. Turned 35 this year. Eddie Guerrero passed away on November 13th, 20 years ago. This was the 20-year anniversary. He died in 2005. I was not watching wrestling in 2005, but I remember my friend told me that he passed away that day. I think it was I can't remember what it was like a damn, I shouldn't say it if I can't remember. I think it was like a heart attack, but I cannot be positive.
I believe it was a heart attack. I remember looking it up not that long ago.
Yeah, so shout out to the
Because we've been
Guerrero
seeing
family.
this entire year, we've been getting so many great Eddie spots between Dom like every
Mhm.
match,
Yeah.
but especially even the Dom and AJ Styles match, especially. I loved that match. Dude, AJ Styles putting out bangers this year too, dude. Between that match and the match AJ Styles had with Cena, like, dude, he's got some of the best matches this year. And I feel like that match with him, AJ coming out in the Eddie gear with the car and all that, like, there's been a lot of good spots towards Eddie this year and a lot of people honoring him. So yeah, dude, shout out to Eddie. I know that was the anniversary just hit again, so
Yeah, shout out to Eddie. He passed away. I know he was like in his late 30s when he passed away. I'm in my mid 30s, so hits more and more when you think about it like that. I feel like we were gypped of a lot of good time with him in the ring. And then also just shout out to everybody, right? RIP to all the good goats that are gone. Earlier this week, me and you were talking, and you were telling me you were going back to watch some of the old War Games matchups. And you inspired me that night. I went back and watched some of my own favorite matchups. I was watching like a Stone Cold versus like Bret Hart and like some good matchups. So it was fun
hell
to
yeah,
go
man.
back and look at those. But RIP to all those guys. And either way, man, we're just some homies here talking shit about wrestling. So fuck with us, and we'll get better and better here. But happy to have someone to talk about wrestling with. And overall, it was a good night. I'm gonna give this one. Ah, man. I'm gonna give this a C. I'm gonna give tonight a C.
And give tonight a C. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna give tonight a B.
All right, sounds fair. Sounds fair.
I enjoyed it all in all. I wish the Miz had won. I was happy with the Dragunov Axiom match. I loved the LA Knight match. That was my favorite. Jade Cargill just squashed Cody and Bronson got thrown out by a DQ. So, yeah, maybe a B minus.
There we go, man. All right, well, keep messing with us. A little bit low energy today. I'm a little bit under the weather, but either way, decent card. I got a C. You got a B minus, and we know for sure, we're going to be high energy. We got a lot coming up on Monday at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, man. Catch us on Monday.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Have a good one.